actually, you know, to see people and to thank you for supporting us through the many years with the Burnett Show, and I'm sure that you were part of that audience, watching television and watching the Burnett Show. We never get to get out and actually meet the people who are doing that and hopefully enjoying the show, because all we're looking at is a little thing there. Somebody says it's going to go out and people will see this. But this is amazing. Thank you. And this is so much better than to get people to come to a theater like this, you know, because we were doing this house to house, and man, oh, God, you know. Sometimes they didn't want you to come in, and it's unbelievable. Oh, this is good. Here's a souvenir. This fell out of my nose. What was I going to say? It doesn't matter if I wasn't listening anyway. The people in show business always have a tendency to put each other on. You know, Harvey Corman, and I do miss him, and I'm sure you do too. He was great because he was one of the brightest guys I knew, but he couldn't tie his own shoes. So I used to put him on something horrible. We were coming back from New York one time on an airplane, small plane. We had to stop in Arizona because we're going against the wind. We needed some more fuel. So we land this plane, right? So they fill up the plane, right? And we're taxiing back onto the runway. And I said to Harvey, Harv, you know, I don't think they put that gas cap back on. So what do you mean? I said, well, when we pulled up here, they took the gas cap off, put it on the wing, and I don't see it now, so I don't think they put it back on. He said, well, tell the pilot. I said, I don't want to get involved in that stuff, you know. I said, why don't you go tell him? Would somebody, so he gets up, knocks on the door, captain says, yes, and Harvey says, you don't have your fuel cap on. This long pause. Pilot says, we don't have a fuel cap. Harvey goes, you son of a... We were eating one night on the Burnett Show. We were working a little bit late. Remember those paper plates when they first came out? It looked like paper mache, you know, it's kind of all stuck together, really flimsy things. So they're serving roast beef and had the gravy on it, or whatever. And Harvey is telling me how stupid I am. He says, you don't know anything about politics, you don't know anything. You just sit there, you're really kind of a waste, right? And he's cutting his roast beef. And I see that he's not only cutting his roast beef, but he's cutting his plate, too. So he makes this cut in the roast beef and everything, sticks his fork in it, sticks it in his mouth, and I see that he's now eating a piece of the plate. I said, well, I may be stupid, but I'm not so stupid that I eat my plate. And he said, well, that's how stupid you are. You don't know how good they are. But it's great working with Louise. Is she not sensational? I never know who I'm talking to when I'm talking to her. And to work with Chuck McCann, Chuck and I have been friends for about 40 years. He was in New York and he had a show there for about 25 years. He's been on almost every show that you can think of. And it's so great it's so comfortable to work with those people. I say that because I'm hoping that I don't have to pay them for this evening, but I think that's not probably going to work out. My wife also pays once in a while a little bit for my screwing around. She believes anything. We were working in Connecticut one time doing a play. I was. And she's lying in bed and reading a book. Now I noticed that there's a switch on the wall here, a light switch. And I hadn't seen it before, and we've been there for about 3 or 4 days already. So I look at this light and I turn it up and it turns on a hallway light. So I guess if you had to get up at night, you could turn on that and then have a hallway light to guide you. So I go, hey, this may come in handy here. So I take a pillow and I put it against the wall like that to hide the switch, put my hand under on the switch, right? So she's reading this book. She gets through reading it. She closes it, slams it, and I go, turn on the light. She goes, what was that? I said, what? I said, the hall light just went on. I said, I don't know, what'd you do? I said, I didn't do anything. She said, you must have done something. What? Said, no, I didn't, I just closed the book. I said, close it again. She goes, bang. I go, turn it off. I said, well, that's what's causing it, that book. You gotta be kidding. I said, try it again. Bang. Bang. So, she said, well, I've never seen that before. I said, I know, it's one of those handicap lights, you know. It's one of those things that you have to get up at night, you know. You just make a noise and boom, turns it on. So she said, nice, I never noticed that before. Yeah, well, so she puts the book in a drawer, shuts the drawer on the thing, and I go, turn it on. I said, don't do that anymore. I said, you can't make any noise because it's going to turn that hallway light on. What are you talking about? I said, no, that's the way it's going to go. So she said, okay. She said, I'm going to watch television. I said, you can't watch television. Because the regular programming is one level, and then when it goes to a commercial, it goes to another level, and that light's going to come back on because you're making too much noise. I said, that's stupid. So she's watching television, the commercial comes on, I go, I said, I told you. She said, I can't, this is nuts. You can't go all night like this. What's this thing going on and off and all night, whatever nights again? I said, well, why don't you call it down and see if the guy can come up and turn it on for you? So she called, hello, maintenance? Yes. Listen, we'd like our clapper light turned off. Guy says, what? So he comes up, right? Now he's got the belt, the whole thing, the hammer and all that. Says, yeah, he said, can I help you? And my wife says, yes, we'd like our clapper light disconnected. He said, clapper light? Yeah. She said, it's this hall light. Whenever you make a noise, or you watch television and a commercial comes on, that light goes on. And she said, really? Oh, be darned. So she said, no, really, watch this. And she clapped, nothing. Clap, nothing. Clap, nothing, nothing. You know? So he said, well, it seems to be fixed now, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm over there going. Now, she didn't know I was behind all that. I was on Regis and Kathy one time, and I told that story on television. God, did I get chewed up for that one after that one. So she goes, and I love people. I really do. And people just are so silly when it comes. A lady asked me for an autograph here the other day, and I gave her an autograph, and she looked at it and she said, I can't read this. I said, well, that's kind of the charm of an autograph. I mean, you just write your name the way you write your name. That's what you get. She said, well, nobody's going to believe me. They can't read it. So I said, well, I'll tell you what. Give me that one back and give me your address, and I'll go home and I'll type one. She said, okay, gives me the autograph. I have her address, I'll go home, I'll type my name and send it to her. She goes, hey, look, I got his autograph right now. I'm in a department store one day in the men's department. I'm leaning against the counter, right? The lady comes up to me, obviously thought I was a clerk. She said, excuse me, where is your underwear? So I showed her.